Okay, so we're gonna wait for people to come on. It's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. It's a beautiful day in New York. Hi guys. Classes, live in-person reformer classes are now booking online. If you don't know, now you know. East Village. We'll wait a couple more minutes for people to log on. You won't need any props today, just your bod. And hello. Once people start coming on, just find yourself seated in a comfortable position on your mat. And go ahead and sit yourself comfortably. Let your legs either cross. You can sit on a block if that feels nicer. You can find a pillow under your butt if that feels good. And then go ahead and place your hands somewhere onto your bod. So that can be hands just right on top of the kneecaps. That can be a hand to chest, a hand to belly. And again, for anybody just coming on, no props needed. You're just gonna go ahead and find one hand to chest, one to belly, or both hands on your knees. Let your eyes soften to a close. And imagine two palms of someone you love just resting right on the tops of your shoulders. Let those shoulders just relax. Feeling them drop away from your ears, feeling the clench of your jaw start to release, even letting the tongue just drift away from the roof of your mouth. Feeling the warmth of your hands wherever you've left them on your body. And starting to breathe into that warmth. So on your next inhale, take a deep breath in through the nose. And a nice heavy exhale out through the mouth. I always think of like one of those weighted blankets just getting laid over my shoulders as I take that exhale. And as I find my deep inhale, I'm trying to expand into the crevices and cracks of my body that haven't gotten breath today, possibly. So I've been very overworked and very tired, but in the best way possible, building out this studio. So even just a few breaths with my hands on my bod feel like super luxurious. Good. On that next exhale, go ahead and open your eyes if they aren't open already. You're going to interlace your hands, flip your palms to face forward as you stick your arms straight out. I want you to just kind of play around with your wrists a little bit. If you have super sensitive wrists, then have your palms face yourself. And just kind of open up the forearms a little bit. You can angle it down if your neck and shoulders are super tight. Just feeling a little forearm stretch as you push the heel of your hand away. Take one or two more, it doesn't have to be super strenuous. And then find that your fingers are nice and even, palms are both reaching forward. Straighten your arms as much as you can, and then float the palms up towards the sky. Take a big reach of your palms to the ceiling, kind of play tug of war with your fingers. Lift the shoulders to the ears, really hike as if your ribs could get lifted off your pelvis. And then separate the hands, reach as far wide and back as you possibly can, just opening the front of the shoulder. Feeling this deep rotation happen inside of the shoulders. Give it all a little shake. You're going to interlace your fingers, trying the opposite direction. If that doesn't make sense, don't worry, just interlace your fingers. Push those palms forward and take that same little flexion of your wrists. A little push forward in the heel of the hand, just like you would with your feet, to get a little stretch in your calves. And then push the palms up towards the sky. Take that little hike of the shoulders. Let your knees be heavy. Let your ribs lift higher. And then on your exhale, separate those hands. Create one last big deep circle. Ooh. Let everything relax down at the bottom. Give the wrists a little shake. You're going to go ahead and find yourself lying on your back, feet on one edge, head on the other. Take a second here, bringing your feet planted right in line with your sits bones, knees up towards the sky. And take a moment with your hands on your chest and draw them outward across your collarbones, just kind of pressing the shoulder down into the mat. Finding your arms in a goalpost shape, try and keep the backs of your shoulders touching down. Take a deep breath in. And then a nice heavy exhale out. Finding a grounding sensation, can you keep your chin off of chest, open your throat a little bit more towards the sky. Slide your hands beneath your head, keeping the elbows as wide and flat to the mat as you can. Thumbs can rest along the sides of the neck. Let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth, and slowly on your next exhale, tip the elbows forward, creating space between your shoulder blades. Once you have that space, find an exhale to find your first ab curl up. Pause in your ab curl, let the weight of your head press back into your hands, even giving yourself a little baby double chin. And then scoop the tips of the elbows to the sky. Try and keep your chest broad, but your biceps working. Find a little ab shake if you can, lifting your chest 1 extra inch. Press into both footprints, and then lay your head right back down. Open the elbows nice and wide, getting that front bod stretch. Exhale, pull the ribs narrow, tip the elbows up, exhale, curl. Can you create a little length in the back of the neck, pressing your head into your palms and giving yourself some traction up towards the sky. Gently lay your head right back down, let your elbows open wide. My favorite ab work is this right here, just super connected, super slow, using your breath and the pressure of your head in your palms to activate a little bit deeper. Notice if you're clenching in places that you don't need to, like those hips, like your toes, like your jaw. With each ab curl, you're trying to bring your awareness to the middle of your body. Taking just 2 more. The next time that you find that sweet little flexion, we're going to stay in that curl. So with your elbows drawn slightly forward, head pressing into those palms, pecs turned off the best you can, you're going to keep that deep curl. Press your head into your palms a little bit more and start to find the littlest pulse of your chest up. Try not to think of bouncing your chest forward and back. Think of the tips of your elbows getting pulled up to the sky by little strings as you lift your chest 1 more centimeter. Go for 8. Press into your feet a little bit more. Resist the urge to lead with your chin. Keep your head heavy in those hands. Can your belly button slide in and up towards your ribs so you start to feel the sides of your waist work for 3. Last 2. Last 1. Lay your head down. Open your elbows wide. Let your neck fully relax. Give your head a little shake. No. You're going to float your left leg to tabletop. Take a breath in. On your next exhale, float your right leg up to meet it. If a full-blown tabletop is like gross, no thank you, let your heels drop to your butt. That's what I'm going to do. With your tailbone grounded, knees just above your hips, take a breath in. Try and pin your ribs down to the mat. Tip your elbows forward. Find your knot and curl. Noticing that now that your feet are off the floor, it's a little harder work in those abdominals. Press your head back into your palms. And then slowly lay your head back down. No opening of the elbows at the bottom. We go straight back up into our ab curl. So you are trying to keep the weight of your head in your palms both as you tap the mat and find length. And as you curl forward, try not to let those knees creep any closer towards you. You are coming to meet your knees. Check in that your low back is maintaining its arch. If it does not feel good, tuck that pelvis. 2 more. Good. The next time that you curl forward, remind your head that it is heavy in those hands like you're holding a bowling ball. Curl your chest 1 inch higher. Little pulses up towards the ceiling as if your elbows were getting pulled by strings. We're going to keep our curl after 5 more little deepening pulses. Last 3. For 2. Hold your deep curl on 1. Take a breath in as you kick your right leg straight up towards the ceiling. Now I am less concerned with if your leg fully straightens. I am more concerned with that deep crease in the front of your hip. So if your knee stays bent, all good. Bend the knee back in, keeping your curl. Left leg straightens towards the sky. Try to let your tailbone drop a little heavier as you kick that leg to straight. You can point or flex the foot, whatever feels manageable today. If you are fully straightening that leg, try not to tuck your pelvis, but think of opposition here. As your foot touches the ceiling, your butt cheek leaves a heavier print on the floor. Constantly check in with your neck. 4 more. Make a connection to your breath. I don't care where you inhale and exhale as long as it's happening. Last 2. The next time you kick your right leg to straight, we hold. Take your left fingertips, reach for the outside of that right ankle, finding a little twist. 10 pulses in this twist as if your middle finger could touch your right pinky toe. Let your head stay heavy in that right palm for 6. Let your left butt cheek stay grounded for 4. Try and shrug the shoulder back for 3. Last 2. Last one, bend the knee, hand behind the head, curl a little higher before you kick the left leg straight up. Right fingertips to outside of left ankle, tiny little pulses. Keeping the lower half super still, keeping the head heavy in the palm. Trying to deepen the twist from right armpit up and over to the left side of the room. For 4, 3, we go for both legs in 2. Last one, kick your right leg to the sky, both hands to both sets of toes. I was going to say to both sets of feet, not today. Slow, keep the hands behind the head if you need. For 6, try not to lift from the shoulders, but curl from the chest for 4. For 3, last 2. Hold it on 1, bend those knees in towards your nose, squeeze as tightly as you can into a ball, and slowly start to rock yourself forward and back until you curl yourself all the way up to seated. Let your knees widen, lift your chest nice and proud, holding onto the ankles, just take a little forward fold. Big breath in and out. You're gonna flip onto all 4s. Once you find yourself on all 4s, hands and knees, you guys take a couple cat-cows, whatever your body is asking for. Ooh, my abs are tired. Finding a little forward and back shift if it feels nice. If it doesn't, just do whatever kind of cat-cow you want. I ask that you really try and feel the stretch along the muscles that live across the bones that you are shifting in space. Play around with the muscles in your face, making a few rolls of the jaw or blinks open and close of the eyes. Those muscles need some work too. Taking 1 or 2 more of whatever funky little move you are grasping onto, and then go ahead and find your nice neutral position. Palms are going to press straight down into the mat, biceps are going to wrap forward. Can you feel your pinkies press down and widen, and let your gaze lift slightly farther forward than you want to. From here, you are going to step your right foot back. You are going to step your left foot back. You are going to take a breath in, you're now in a high plank. You are going to bend your right knee and underneath you, gently set it down. Pull your left knee and underneath you, gently set it down. Your upper body is going to barely shift, okay? You're going to step your right foot back. You're going to step your left foot back. You're going to bend your right knee in. You're going to bend your left knee in. So I'm going to stay on the same side so I don't get confused. My right leg is always stepping back and bending in first. If you want to alternate, you can. There's no difference. Go for 4 more on the right side. Really extending from the back of the leg and then bending back in. You did something very similar just now on your back. Last 2. Good. The next time you find yourself in your plank, hang out in your plank and take a deep breath in for 5. Try and wrap your biceps forward, tuck your tail a little more. Find a little squeeze of your glutes for 2. Last one, pike your hips up towards the sky, find your downward dog. Creating a little heat here, take a deep breath in. Paddle out your legs, give yourself a deep rotation, open to one side and then switch to the other. Ooh, my body needed this more than I thought. Good, take 1 more. And then walk your feet in towards your hands. Don't worry, we'll do the other side, I promise. Let your head hang for a moment. Finding yourself in your forward fold, give yourself a little roll side to side. Good, and then bend both knees, let yourself restack through center. Keeping the head, neck, and shoulders super heavy into the last moment. At the top, give yourself a little shoulder shrug up and back, or maybe even an arm circle. Good, we're gonna stick with that right side. So step your feet a little farther forward so you have some space behind you. Right foot is gonna stay planted. Left knee is gonna pull in and up towards your chest. You can use your hand here if you want, if your balance is a joke today. Touch a wall, touch a chair, touch a friend for a little support. And then step that left foot right back down. Staying on that side, left knee bends in. Use the hand to pull it in and up. Drive your right heel straight down. You're finding a little squeeze of your butt cheek to find a little opening in your right hip. Step that left foot back down. Resist the urge to lean to the right. You are trying to drive your right heel deeper down in space. Let's go for 4. Good. We're going to progress through this, just like we will in our feel good reformer classes when you guys come to them. Shameless plug. Last 2, and then we're gonna keep that leg up. Ooh, can you keep that right leg working? Find a reach through all of your right toes instead of a clench. The next time you pull that left knee in and up towards your chest, try not to use your hand if possible. You're gonna go ahead and sweep that left leg back and shoot it behind you to step into your lunge. Foot can always drag across the floor if finding balance work doesn't feel good. Take a second, your right knee is bent, your left toes are back and planted, your left leg is super straight, your left heel is lifted. Adjust your stance if you need. Sometimes you don't shoot a fair amount. Deepen your lunge if you need to. Nice and slow, you're gonna push into that front heel. Again, you can drag your toes or hover them up as you pull that left knee in and up towards your chest. Big squeeze, right leg is straight, you're rooting down through the heel. Bend the right knee, step that left foot as far back as you can to find your deepest lunge. Hands can do whatever they need. Press into your right heel without momentum. Pull that left knee in and up. A lot of hip flexion and extension today, both on our back and now standing. Good. There is no rush. I know I say that like a broken record, but legit, like, there's no rush. Sometimes the slower, the better, you know? Last 3. And then we're for sure staying in a lunge. That feels like the right thing to do. This is 2. Ooh, booty cheek. On this last 1, you're gonna fall over. You're gonna step that left foot back, plant it in your deepest, lowest lunge, and hold. Take a deep breath here, hands are to prayer. You're gonna tip your chest forward a little bit more like you're trying to smell your big toe. And then you're gonna push into your right heel, lift your chest away like you really just changed your mind. So you're not moving from your low back. You are pivoting over that right thigh bone. Your right leg is staying super still. We go for 5. If you want more of a challenge, hands can interlace behind your head. Just make sure you aren't straining the neck. Last 4. Can you connect your front 2 ribs as you push up? Feel the abdominals support you. Last 3. Almost there, friends. 2 more and we stay tipped forward. Beautiful. Last 1, tip your chest forward, take a deep breath in, just hold for 5. If you want a little more action, lift your right heel for 4. Sink a little deeper for 3. Last 2. Lower your heel on 1, put your hands down to the mat, step your right foot back. Deep breath in, heavy exhale out as you find your plank. Hold it here for a moment, adjust anything you need to adjust. We're gonna lower ourselves into the floor by bending our elbows, so if you need to bring those knees down first to support your spine, do it. Otherwise, nice and slow, bend those elbows and slowly bring your belly to the mat. Untuck your toes. Push yourself up and back and find your child's pose. Whew. Take a breath. Widen your knees if you need it. Let your shoulders soften, even let your elbows collapse to the mat. Give your hips a little wiggle left, a little wiggle right. Good. You're gonna roll forward, back onto your belly. Taking just a little bit of extension to open up our mid-upper back. If extension is a no for you, you can always keep your forehead down. Otherwise, find your forearms slightly forward on your mat, elbows just beneath your shoulders. You're gonna go ahead and keep your gaze to the front edge of your mat so the back of your neck is long. I literally think of like gluing a popsicle stick to the back of my neck. And then moving from just the low abs and glutes, you're gonna start to pull your belly button in towards your spine, tuck your pubic bone into the mat, feel your belly button float off. Good. Squeeze your butt a little bit as you press your pubic bone into the mat, relax your shoulders away from your ears, and then let it all go. We're gonna do that 4 more times. So, belly button in and up, you're lengthening your low back. It's a pelvic tuck, but in reverse, right? Usually you do this on your back. You have the proprioception of the mat now on your hip bones and your pubic bone. Don't worry if your belly button doesn't actually lift off of the mat. You just wanna find that sensation of creating space between your lumbar. Ooh, find a little squeeze of glutes. If you want to hover the legs, every time you tuck your pelvis, now is your chance. Getting a little extra hamstring and glute. Good. Hip extension is a magical, magical treat. If you've been sitting in hip flexion, aka a chair, all day, which is my new life currently. Last two. Good. Up to you if you want to let the legs hover. That is a harder option. But the next time you tuck your pubic bone into the mat, find the hover or not, press into your palms, lift your chest either all the way up as your arms straighten or just a few inches. Bend the elbows, tap them right back to the mat. The lower half of your body stays exactly the same. So it's like a little tricep push up as you find this lift from your chest. Can you keep your pelvis in the exact same position? Can you keep your legs working in the exact same way? Keep your biceps shining over your middle fingers for 5. Head gets a little shake at any point if you feel your neck tensing. Last 3. Can you squeeze your butt a little bit more? 2 more. Your posterior chain, your backside is so important. Keep it strengthening. Last one, you're going to bring your arms to straight the best you can. Walk them forward if this is too much. 10 little wiggles of your thighs without letting your pelvis shift side to side. Swim those legs for 10. For 9. For 8, keep your belly up. Keep your biceps forward. Keep your shoulders down. For 5. 4, we lay it down in 3. 2, relax everything on 1. Goodness. Bring your hands under your shoulders. We're getting up into that high plank again, so you can absolutely keep your knees down. Otherwise, tuck your toes. Hands beneath your shoulders. Find your high plank position. We do the other leg. Bend the left knee in, set it down. Bend the right knee in, set it down. Take a cat-cow because you deserve it. Even if you're just watching, kicking it. Take a cat-cow. 1 or 2 more. Find your neutral. Let's knock out that other side. So biceps round forward. Crown of the head is lengthening away from you. You step that left foot back. You step that right foot back. Breathe. Bend the left knee in. Bend the right knee in. Can your arms stay the same? Can your rib cage stay the same? Can your pelvis stay the same? I'm staying on my left leg leading. Do whatever feels right for you. Last 4. Good. For 3, try not to let your ribs collapse. 2 more, and then we hold that plank. Amazing. Last one, y'all. Find that plank and hold. Take a big breath in. Heavy exhale out. Pike your hips up towards the sky. Find your downward dog. Give yourself whatever stretch here feels needed. Oh, I could do this all day. Walk your feet towards your hands. Let yourself find your forward fold. Bend those knees as much as you need. This time, if it feels nice, give your head a little traction. Let your cheeks melt to your eyeballs. Feel the muscles in your face just kind of drip towards the crown of your head. It feels kind of funky, but amazing. On your next exhale, hang a little heavier. Restack that spine, giving it all a little shake. Oh, at the top, let your head be the last thing to arrive. Big, juicy shoulder roller, arm circle. We just got to bang out that other glute. So step forward just a little bit. Left foot is going to stay forward, or left foot's going to stay down. Right knee is going to pull into your chest. Use your hands if you need. Try and drop your right hip so it's square to your left. Simply step that right leg back down. Right knee in. Right foot down. Try and root through the left heel. So for me, this side always takes a little bit longer to kick on. Trying to really find my scoop of my pubic bone forward, that drop and glide of my right thigh bone a little bit deeper into my hip socket. Good. Can your left leg stay nice and straight? Can you root through the heel? Oh, there it is. Feeling your underbutt on that left side. Squeeze a little bit. I have my fingers literally lodged underneath my left glute, just to make sure it's doing something as I press the heel into the floor. Good. Last one, let's lift that right knee in space and hold. Take a breath. You're going to start to sweep that right leg back as you bend your left knee. Again, foot can always stay on the mat. Sink into your deepest, lowest lunge. Adjust anything you need to adjust. Knee is over ankle, butt is back. Push heavy into that left heel. Drive it to straight as you pull your right knee in and up. Fully straighten that left leg as you stand. Find your deepest bend as you find your lunge. Take your time. We're going to take about 5 more here. Adjusting anything you need to make this magical move do a little more for you. Ooh. If you lose your balance, just step your right foot down. Good. Last 3. And I'm a little quieter on this side. It's because I really got to focus so I don't eat shit, you know? Ooh. 2 more. Party. Give me one last full stand before we stay in that deep low lunge, you guys. Say a little prayer at the top. Tell yourself you're badass no matter what. And then as you find that deepest lunge, hang out. Hands to prayer if that feels okay. You're going to tip your chest forward a few inches. You're going to press into that left heel, tip your chest up. So it is your whole torso leaning forward as your left butt cheek pulls a little farther back. And it is your whole torso curling back up. Hands can come behind the head if you want that extra little weight to challenge. But check in that your head is pressing upward into your palms, your neck is long. Last 5, can you sit a little deeper? Ooh, my butt cheek. For 4. Is your back leg still active and straight as your heel lifted? You guys got it. Last 3. We hold it in 2. Last one, friends. Tip that chest forward and hold. We breathe and hold for 5. Maybe you lift your left heel, pull your belly off of your thigh for 3. Pull that left butt cheek back even more for 2. Last one, hands to the mat. Step your left foot back. Find your plank position. Squeeze your butt a little bit. Tip your chest forward. Notice if this plank feels easier and harder than your first one. There's no right answer to that question. Just take a mental note. We're going to find that same lower down into our belly. So again, knees can come down. But nice and slow, bend the elbows. Lower yourself onto your belly. Untuck those toes. Push yourself up and back into child's pose. I'm surprised y'all haven't gotten sick of my heavy breathing in your ear. Thank you so much for still coming. Breathe into this nice little stretch. Widen your knees a little bit more if you need to. Perfect. Hands are going to walk all the way over to the left side of your mat. I bring mine off the mat just for a deeper side bend. I'm going to let my right ear drop a little bit. Try and breathe into the right side of my torso. Swing my right butt cheek back. And then walk your hands back to center, up and over to the right on the outside of your mat. Left butt cheek sinks back. Butt cheek, chin. Breathe into the left side of the torso. Relax the shoulders, open the ribs. Walk your hands back to center. Roll forward onto all 4s one last time. Flip your knuckles, Flip your fingers to face your knees. Kind of like what we did in the beginning. You're just taking a little deeper stretch of your forearms as you shift your butt back. Heel of your hand can come off the mat. You can bend and extend your elbows a little bit to feel that stretch. My right forearm has never been so tight as it is now that I use it on the computer so much. And then slowly roll forward. Flip your fingers to face the front edge of your mat, just normal. Take one deep shoulder roll and find your cat-cow. Try and feel if you've created any space through the places that feel like there is none. Good. And then you're going to go ahead and push your butt back to your heels one last time. Nice and slow. Draw your nose up the center of your body as you restack to seated. As your head arrives on top of your spine, give the shoulders one last little roll up and back. And that's it. Happy Tuesday, y'all. Again, thank you for coming. Even if you pop on for a minute, it still means a lot to me. Our studio is opening next week. Sign up for classes, DM me. you have questions. If not, I will still be doing this every Tuesday because it's fun. So have a great day, everybody.